and standing. Welcome. I was asked to give a small overview of our visions, what is going to happen with digital identities. And the short ideas that I'm going through in a few slides are mainly based on Estonian experience. That's the best one we have at the moment for us to understand what could be the future. First of all, I'll take some historical steps and then let's see to the future. So it's all based on Estonian electronic ID or digital ID, which is something that we are really used to already since the year 2000. Our digital society is actually built on digital ID card, which is issued for every person in Estonia, which is a compulsory. It means that everybody has it, and luckily 99% of all the state services are available online. It's kind of a joke that it's not only possible to do three things. You cannot get married or divorced online, and that you cannot buy real estate online in Estonia. All the other things will be done online. Estonian digital ID system is part of e-IDs system or framework that's created by EU to enable cross-border digital identification and development of that one. We don't think that we are very unique. More and more countries and regions are actually issuing digital IDs, and we just want to see more cross-usability and international cooperation in that field. And for Estonia also, in addition to digital ID card, there is also mobile ID verification and smart ID, which is an app-based solution. But this is not only available for Estonians, but all the other people in the world as well. 5 years ago, e-residency system or e-residency program was launched. We are celebrating the 5th anniversary next week, by the way, all around Europe, like in 21 cities. It's a first cross-border digital identity issued by the government for digital entrepreneurs to start their companies online and to run them online. So far, more than 10,000 companies are created and more than 62,000 people have signed up. And it's all based on our digital ID. And e-residents has access to the same digital services that the locals have. They don't need all of them, of course. What we see, one thing is that there are more similar programs launched already in Dubai and in Azerbaijan, more to come in Lithuania, Armenia, and also some states in Southeast Asia are planning to open their own similar programs. The backbone of the whole system is actually X-Road, which was launched in 2001, which is an open data exchange platform, which gathers together state and private databases. They are secure, and this interoperability actually enables to develop different digital services that's available for Estonians and also internationally. X-Road is now exported also to Finland, Japan, and some other countries. And what it has enabled and what we would like to see in the future is the cross-usage of different digital identities in the same platform. Let me give you an example. Estonia and Finland both have digital ID cards, and they both use X-Road. So if I am sick, need a medicine, there is e-prescription written to me by my doctor. But if I'm traveling to Turku, Tampere, visiting the Christmas land in northern Finland or something, and need to buy medicine, I can do it in Finland in the pharmacy with my Estonian ID card. This is thanks to the X-Road and all the cross usage. So what makes digital identity actually work or has made it successful for Estonia, at least in our case? First of all, it's not only technical innovation, but it's more like a legal innovation that has been done by the government. It has enabled us to develop the systems and to actually build the services on that. It has taken some courage by the state and government to actually enable these possibilities. Innovation comes hand in hand with experimenting. We see ourselves as government as a service, and it only is sustainable when it's done in cooperation between state and private sector companies, which actually do the innovative solutions that can benefit from this X-Road and digital identity systems provided by the state. So let's see the future. There are three things that are Estonia-specific I would like to point out. First of all, I will leave the first one for the last because I like it the most. Cross-border, there are the digital governments. I gave you an example of e-prescriptions. We'd like to see, and we hope to see more that kind of cooperation projects between different countries, which first of all, maybe they use this X-Road solution, but there may be some other solutions as well that can be connected to each other. We would like to see more cross-border digital government solutions, like, for example, accepting documents that prove your educational level, for example. Then the real-time economy. As entrepreneurs, you are mostly here entrepreneurs, you would like to do your business and spend as little time as possible dealing with different kinds of reports, administrative tasks, and so on, so on. So our tax board, for example, and the Estonian authorities working on ways how to minimize this administrative work and to automate more and more reporting and all that kind of operations that leave more time for business purposes. And the third thing is invisible services, or life events as they are called. So basically we'd like to see the situation where a person has one interaction with the state or with state authorities. He or she gives all the necessary information, and then it triggers a set of different events which are necessary for him or her. I will give you one example that's actually in the incubation at the moment. For example, when a person would like to apply for e-residency, in the future, hopefully, it will work like this, that the person who applies e-residency and he or she actually plans to open a company, Estonian company, and needs a banking account, definitely they need one, then one thing is triggered by another. So if he applies for e-residency, gets it, then automatically the next step, company formation is triggered, and when the company is formed, automatically applications for banking partners will be sent. Some more crazy or wilder ideas. We'd like to see global digital ID standards or the X-Roads, similar solutions for X-Roads, so that we can see more transparency and more cooperation opportunities between different states in order to accept, like, I don't know, Singapore ID card in Estonia, Estonian in Poland, and so on, so on. Then it all comes to the trust and transparency. It needs to be improved between governments or states and people who are living there. This is the main basics, like what actually enables to try new things. If you don't trust your state, or if you don't trust the data you have, if you don't want to give it to your state, then it's very difficult to automate anything at all. So I can give you one example how is it solved in Estonia. It's all transparent. I can check from my state portal which state organizations exactly have checked my data, for which purposes, when, and who did it. And if I'm not happy with that, I can actually ask from them that what was exactly the purpose, like why that export checked something. And then we'd like to see cardless digital verification one day. We understand that there will be more and more countries all around the world which will issue e-residency or similar services as e-residency. And there will be multiple digital identities issued to different people. And there will be people, for example, that use Estonian one to operate their EU business and use Dubai one to operate their Middle Eastern business. what we are definitely sure is what is going to happen is that state services will be provided also to digital nomads who are most likely using cross-border digital identities and solutions. For example, social security for traveling people or digital nomads. This is something in incubation in Estonia, for example. And of course, everything will work only in cooperation between private and public sector. It can't be done on one end or another end. And for closing, I will just leave here one open question, which I personally cannot answer because I'm not an expert of that. But how could actually digital identity and fintechs be connected? How can governments who issue digital IDs and e-residency programs can actually help fintechs or insurtech companies? And how can, for example, e-residency programs act as proof of trust for them? Whether it's possible to help you to improve KYC processes and make, for example, verification somehow easier. This is something to think about. So that's all for me. If you happen to be somewhere around where the e-residency 5th anniversary events will take place next week, you are always welcome. Aitäh is thanks in Estonian.
Any question for Anko? Yeah, here you go, please.
Difficult question. I guess it's kind of cultural that which one you trust the most. There are not only, I think, not only technical aspects like which work, but there are like many cultural aspects. Like in some regions, probably people don't trust government at all, and when the well-known private company creates a good solution, it could be better recognized than the state one. On the other hand, for example, in EU, I guess the state digital IDs will be prevailing, I guess. But I think there will be also some joint solutions will be done one day. I hope so, because, well, I work for a government at the moment, but I truly believe that governments or states are not smart enough to do everything alone. I'm 100% sure in that. So that's why we need also all the creative entrepreneurs to help them. That's how it actually works here in Estonia so far, has worked at least.
Thank you. I would just like to personally to add about, you've mentioned digital nomads, and there are actually know that a few who are living in Europe, for example, they do go to e-residency. They choose to get connected and stay. So the one you are seeing in the future, they're already in present. So you are very innovative and it's serving the digital clients as well. That's something to...
They're very inspiring people sometimes.
Thank you.